So that's how we have started the Samaveda Pathsala. So it is a course for 5 years. So the children came, it's a residential course. The students and the teacher live together. There would be a separate cook for them to feed. They would be given free Vedic education, free accommodation, food, medical care, clothing, A to Z is done. So that way we have completed one course in Samaveda. After that we have started Yajurveda Pathsala is now running. We have 8 students and a teacher there. So that was going on there. So every action that initiated by the ashram had the backing of yogis' acceptance and blessings. Like the Maheshwara Puja which we do on every Punarvasu star, which is Bhavan's birth star, that on the Jayanti day he came and participated once. Did I tell you yesterday about this?
Don't remember.
That Yogi had come here to join on a Bhagwan's Jayanti day. That is Bhagwan's birthday. Bhagwan's birthday is celebrated in our ashram. So we make a small invitation. So there would be some Vedic chanting. There would be Ramana Maharshi's works are being chanted. And there would be a satsang for an hour. Then there would be feeding of all the sadhus. So it's a old tradition set, some 800 years back by Tirujnana Sambandar, a Tamil saint, that sadhus are to be considered as Ishvara in the human form, that they should be received and honored, and puja is done to them as puja is done to Shiva. So each sadhu would be offered a puja, and then they would be chanting Shiva Puranam, and after that they would be given food and some dakshina. And that is an old ancient practice which we are following it every month. On Bhagwan's Jayanti day, when we gave the invitation to Swami, Yogi always used to carry the invitation. We used to give the invitation a few days before. But Yogi would keep the invitation in his hand like this for all the 3 days. Until the function is over, he would be keeping. Whenever he is going to ashram or all the time, he would be keeping that invitation in his hand. And it was a great blessing that he came once, joined in the function, and told that no program should be changed. So then the morning puja was over, then the chanting was over. Then I was to give a talk on for an hour on Ramana Maharshi's teaching, which he sat for 1 hour to listen. When that was over, he told Devaki, he was full of cheers, full of joy. He got up and said, Devaki, Tyagaraja Swami சாப்பாடு போடுவார் Devaki, நாமெல்லாம் போய் சாப்பிடலாம். He was saying, Devaki, Tyagaraja Swami would feed us. Let us all go and eat. Like a child, he was enjoying it so much. So he didn't wait. The very interesting feature is, whenever I was with him, from the time I meet him till he leaves, he would keep my hand with his hands like that only. So it was a very, great experience. Because the steps are narrow, meant for one person to walk comfortably. So he would hold my hands like this and drag me. And he would walk with such speed. And there is not sufficient space for 2 people to walk together. We would be hanging and dancing and moving. Sometimes it is very scary also. Because he would not look down like the steps if you are climbing up or we are walking down the steps, we would be careful not to slip, so we would be looking for the steps to put our feet firmly. But he would be looking like this, holding my hand, and like in a playing ground, he would be flying literally. It would be a scene. Because, see, if you live 5 minutes with yogi or 10 minutes with yogi, you would understand what is Vedanta, what is Jnana. Instead of studying all the Gitas, Upanishads, Brahma Sutras, Prasthanatraya, all those things, because if you want to learn Vedanta, you have to study Prasthanatraya, which implies Bhagavad Gita, Upanishad. All those things, the Vedanta Granthas, ultimately what they preach, you are not the body, you are not the mind, you are the self-supreme. And what you would study for 12 years, 15 years, and what you would very little understand, even theoretically, if you are with him for 10 minutes, there is no body. He has no body. So you treat what is, the meaning of you are not the body means what? The practical demonstration and expression and experience, you would get everything in one stroke, like this. Then the fear, what would happen to the body? All those things. And how the without a word of Vedanta being spoken, without telling the Vedanta, you are not the body, you are not the mind. And this dhoti which he was wearing, that would be flowing in one direction. Sometimes he would not be even, if he is not aware of the body, how would he be aware of his clothes? Mm-hmm. So the clothes would come sometimes fall like that, you have to hold the sometimes these would get stuck up in between the fingers of the leg, which means quite, you can stumble down. So when you see these things, then there cannot be a better demonstration of the truth that you are not the body. When a man without a body, how he moves, how he lives, how he speaks, that expression becomes the experience. And the impact of that, you can have the impact of that on your own body also. So there are occasions where when you are with yogi, or even before you are with yogi, suppose if you want to go to yogi, see yogi, from that moment onwards it takes place, something happens. So the beauty of this place is Smaranat Arunachala. That means if you think of Arunachala, you are granted liberation. That is what the Puranas says. That we read it in the books as a theory. Mm-hmm. And the Anubhava part, the theory is not meant for theory, it is meant for an experience. It is the experience that is conveyed through the words. So with the words, it remains only with the words for us. But when the words are connected to a saint or a sage, the impact of the sage passes through the words. So the Puranas are proved that what these Puranas speak of is the truth. So that the Purana speaks the truth, you would realize only if that Puranas or if the words are connected to yogi or a god. So sometimes it would happen when you want to go to yogi, so the yogi, that moment itself it takes place. Even before meeting him, seeing him, that moment itself something happens to you. The moment you think of yogi, something happens to you and the mind becomes silent. So you are going to the yogi, which takes 5 minutes. So even you are, the moment you started to think of going to the yogi, And with every step, this silence would enter. And with that silence, you would be moving. So this is a period of a seeker. And even when you are seeking, what you are sought is with you. So the seeking and the sought are not two different poles. They are together. A seeker is always remains with the sought. The seeker and the sought are not two different things, or even the journey from the seeker to the sought itself, with the beginning, becomes the end. So that it enters into an anubhava. So the moment you think of yogi, then something happens to your mind becomes silent, there are no more thoughts, and you would be moving, which means that you would be floating rather than moving. So you would feel, the body idea would be away. So the impact on you would express through silence, and the body idea would go away, and when the body idea or the ego idea goes away, you enter into a thoughtless state, and in that thoughtless state there is a movement. So in the action there is an inaction. What Gita says, action in inaction, can be experienced as the truth by connecting to the yogi area side. So many times this used to happen that that the moment you think that you are connected, so it becomes the connecting point, and so it is a very beautiful experience. So that's why it is said satsang is the most important thing. Satsang is the voice is the most important thing. So every word he speaks or everything that he does, and he knows the moment I think of him and start here, that moment he knows. That moment he knows also. And the most interesting thing is, as I want to connect to him, he reciprocates. He also wants to connect with me. It is not one-sided. It looks like one-sided, but it is not so. So to make that, some incidents would take place now and then. That as you are seeking him, so he is also seeking you.
Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar.